Hi, this is David from Fumastra Management Consulting, and in this video we are going to explore the if function. This week actually I've received 2 inquiries about the if function, so I thought, wow, there is a lot of popularity about this function. It might be worth doing a video explaining a little bit how it works. So here we go. We have the if function described here. So as usual, every function in Excel starts with the equal sign. Then we name the function, which is if. We open the bracket and we give the arguments. The if function contains 3 arguments. The first one is the expression that you want to evaluate, for which you want to return a value if it is true, or another value if it is false. So the first expression that you want to evaluate is in fact 2 different values that you want to compare, either equal, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. So we pass in the second argument, which is going to be the value that the if function should return if the evaluated expression is true, it is correct, and a third argument which will return a certain value if the expression evaluated is false, if it is not correct. Okay, so let's see a little bit more in practice. How does that work? We are going to create an Excel table and insert our if function inside. So let's imagine we are selling some products. So we have a product column, we have an amount, and we have a quantity, we have a total, and now we need to evaluate whether we need to pay a certain tax. So for example, in Uganda, if the amount of the supplier that we need to pay is equal to or greater to 1 million shillings, we need to withhold a certain tax of 6%. And if it is less than 1 million shillings, we won't need to withhold any tax on that. So let's call this, okay, withholding tax. And we need to calculate it. So the withholding tax in Uganda is 6%, and it has to be remitted to URA on behalf of the supplier. So we are going to transform that into an Excel table. So we can go to the Insert tab and we can click on Table. We have also available the shortcut key, which is Ctrl-T, that we can use to create quickly a table. Let's use the shortcut key, Ctrl-T, and confirm that it has selected the right range, which contains our header. So we can click that checkbox, my table has headers, and click OK. So now we can see that our table goes from G8 to K9, and actually we have a little corner here, blue, a little triangle that indicates where our table stops. Okay, so at the corner of K9. All right, so let's insert our product 1, product A. Let's say the amount is going to be, okay, 50,000 shillings. Quantity is going to be, let's say, 40, and the total amount will be, well, the product of amount times the quantity. And we can see that okay, this times the quantity, yes. And we can see as we are referencing table columns, we have the name which is written, not a cell reference like H9, but rather the amount column from that table, which we are evaluating in that expression, multiplied by the quantity column. That's the advantage of a table. All right, so let's validate that. We have our total, which is automatically calculated. We can select all the cells and format it in 1000 separator, so that we can clearly that we have an amount which is equal to 2 million shillings, which in that case is greater than 1 million shillings, on which we would need to retain or withhold a certain tax, which is at 6%. So let's calculate our withholding tax automatically, depending whether the amount would be greater than or equal to 1 million shillings. So we can start equal sign. We had it already. Okay, if function. We can see that as soon as we start typing the if function, we have access to all the different if functions that are existing inside Excel. Here we have 4 functions. If error, if NA, if S. In that video, we are going mainly to explore the if function, which description is given here. Check whether a condition is met and returns one value if true as the second argument and another value if false as the third argument. All right, so let's open our bracket for that function. The first argument is the logical text, the expression that we want to evaluate. And in that case, we want to evaluate the total amount. And, well, we want to check if it is greater than or equal to 1 million shillings. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 0. And we have 1 million shillings. If that is correct, if the total amount is greater than or equal to 1 million shillings, we should calculate the withholding tax, which should be equal to the total amount multiplied by 6%. So we have it. Otherwise, well, we don't need to calculate anything, so we can return simply 0. And here we have our function if. So if the total amount that we have calculated before is greater than or equal to 1 million shillings, we will calculate the 6% of that total, otherwise we will obtain 0. We can select the first argument altogether and press F9 to see, okay, what it returns. In that case, it would return true. So the value that will be returned if the first argument is true, it's going to be the second argument. Okay. So now we Control Z to return to the function and press Enter to validate that. And now we have the tax that should be withheld and remit to URA on behalf of the supplier. Let's say we sell another product. So we'll see also that because we have a table, our table is going to expand automatically to the next row and integrate the formulas automatically. That's the main advantage of an Excel table. So let's add a new product, product B, and it's going to be equal to, as soon as I validate, so I always use the tab key to validate my entry and go to the next cell available. So we can see that our table has expanded. Now it's at K10. And we can see that we have an hyphen which indicates a null value or 0 value currently because we don't have anything to evaluate. So otherwise we can see that the function is the same up there as well as in J9. All right, so let's say that this time we have sold for 2,500 shillings and we have sold about 35 products at this amount. The total amount returned is 87,500, which is obviously below 1 million shillings, for which the tax has not been calculated because we have not reached the threshold to withhold that tax. Let's say now that our product B we have sold, we have sold, and it's going to be 5,000 shillings, and we have sold 2 of them. We obtain 1 million shillings, which is exactly equal to the threshold of 1 million shillings for which our tax has to be withheld. And we can see that our function has worked correctly, identifying that the total is indeed equal to 1 million, and evaluating to true, it returns the first argument, which is the 6% of the total. So that's how if function can be used. You might have different scenario in which you could use the if function. It's always the same. It evaluates a first expression comparing 2 values together. If the evaluation returns true, then the first argument will be returned. In other case, if the expression is false, it will return the third argument, which is the value if false argument. All right, that's it for this function. We have seen the if function. Thank you very much for watching and see you in the next video.